Welcome everyone back to the UK Journeyman Save. In today's episode, we have a massive fixture against Crystal Palace in the Championship, a top-of-the-table clash, and then we are also away to Preston, who are further down the league, currently in 19th. Since you last left us, we finished off the January window. We took off the back of that massive game against Spurs. We've thankfully managed to turn our form around, but they've been very, very close games. We've actually been lucky to win quite a lot of them, so even though it looks like we've turned it around, we've still been poor in some of these games. But nevertheless, we've turned it around and the results are all that matter. We beat Borough 3-2, Ibrahimovic-Fletcher with 2. We beat Wrexham 3-2, Ibrahimovic-Fletcher with 2. He is scoring for fun at the minute. We got a very late equaliser from Ibrahimovic-Fletcher to level against Southampton, which was huge because they were right behind us in the league at the time. A 2-1 win over Wigan, Ibrahimovic-Fletcher. 3-1 win over Derby, Ibrahimovic-Fletcher. And then a 3-2 win over Stoke. A new boy. We have made a couple signings, so let us cover this. There's been no more exits except for Matty Elliott. He was someone we signed, I think, a very nominal fee. We barely played him in League One. He went out on loan to Crawley. And then this season, he's kind of just been sitting amongst the cat. The assistant manager, Cat, has decided to come and get involved in the transfers. Not needed. We've already done the transfers. So he's went to Boston of League One. They paid a small fee for him. So we paid a little bit. We've made mostly profit on him. He's never really going to be good enough for us. So he's left. But we have signed quite a few players. So the first one in the door is Ibai Herrera. He is a 18-year-old Spanish goalkeeper on loan from Bilbao for the rest of the season. We've played him in 2 games. He wasn't very good. I was trying to find a Watmuff replacement. He's not any better than Watmuff. So we're just going to go back to it. But he's going to be our new backup. The next one is Shin Jung-bin. He is a 22-year-old Korean centre-back. He's signed a very long-term deal till 2037. 4 stars of current ability with no potential to get any higher. Got injured as soon as he came in the door, which is great. So I've not actually used him yet. We only paid 700 grand for him, and I think some of that's in installments as well. So he was playing for Seoul in the Korean League and doing quite well. He scouted quite well. So for a fairly cheap deal, someone who can play centre-back and also play DM as well, I thought was a good option. Like I say, quite a cheap one, so not too bad on that, and not too high a range in wages as well. Very similar story to this guy, Joseba Uranga, a 22-year-old Spanish winger. He can play on the left, he can play on the right. Very, very quick, technically and mentally not very good, but physically very, very good. Very good impact player off the bench. Just shown as a 3-star player at the minute with 3.5-star potential. We only paid 500k all up front for him, and he scored 2 goals in his last game, so on the right. So yeah, good potential with high determination. Obviously, it's only showing as 3.5 here, but then in here it's 5-star. So I don't really know how good his potential is. At the very least, he's someone who can come in and be part of the bench. But he isn't starting for this game. We're going back to Mustafa, and this is the team we're going with for the Palace game. Watmuff gets his place back in goal. We've got a back four of Veya, Bandekar, Trotman, and Stevenson. Like I say, Jung-bin is currently injured. He came in injured, so he hasn't replaced Trotman just yet. But that's the ultimate goal. Stevenson left back, Lindores and Walsh in midfield, Mustafa and Thompson on the wing, and then Mahika and Ibrahimovic-Fletcher up front. Like I say, Ibrahimovic-Fletcher is absolutely flying at the minute. He's shown as a leading Championship player, 20 goals and 32 appearances. How he was barely scoring for Shamrock, I don't know. It's crazy. He should have been scoring loads in that division. Pleguezello's picked up a knock as well, so that's why Veya's come back in. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty much the main team. As you can see, we've got lots of wingers and lots of attackers. Not much in the way of midfielders and defenders, though, but hopefully once Jung-bin comes back, he'll be good. We obviously have a couple of lads out on loan. There's that Giranda, the one that was on loan at Dundee, the Czech winger. We decided we didn't need any more wingers, so we haven't recalled him. We did recall Osmani, who you saw on the bench there. He was on loan at West Brom. Wasn't really that good, but we just needed an option at the time. We don't really need him now, but we did need him at the time, which is why I recalled him. But yeah, he's not really, I mean, he's improved as a player, but he wasn't really, I think he only scored 2 in 16 in League One, so he wasn't really cutting it up in League One either. I think regardless of where we play next season, I think we pretty much need to move on most of these rotation players. I think we can probably do better. To be honest, I think the likes of Newerton, Osmani, Greenwood, they're all fine players to have on the bench for now. If we get, I mean, we'll probably keep them if we stay in this league. If we get promoted, we'll absolutely need to be to bin them off. Palace have got themselves an early goal though, which is not great because they are right behind us in the league. Obviously, we don't necessarily need to win the league. We don't even necessarily need to finish in the top 2. The board just wanted us to avoid relegation. But, it would be nice too. And I think we have done so well again this season. It would be great if we could get promoted to the Premier League. I think we are almost speed running the save a little bit. I didn't think we'd be at that point so far. I didn't think we'd be potentially getting in the Premier League off the third club. I thought it would be more of a fourth or fifth club kind of thing. But Mahika with an effort. I mean, the goalkeeper must have saw it much better than I did, because I thought it was a decent effort, but he didn't even move, and it goes wide of the target. 1-0 to Palace very early on. I mean, Watmouth only just got his place back, and he's let a goal in straight away. Now, it was a good effort, to be fair, and, it is what it is. But, obviously, it's not the be-all and end-all if we don't get promoted. At the very least, we'll be getting playoffs this year, I think, so it's still a good season, but now we've got so close. I really want us to get promoted, because we were so close. We've done so well. We've been in the top 2 all season, but we have dropped to second for a lot of these recent games. Palace look a very good side. That is so unfortunate. Watmouth's made a big save, and it just came off Alberto's head. That's unfortunate. It was a good save from Watmouth. It really was. I can't even hate on it. And it's just come straight out to their striker. It's 2-0 Palace. We have not turned up today. I mean, this is our first team, so it is a little bit worrying. Maybe the right back would be the only difference, really. So it is worrying that we are getting so massively outplayed. Like I say, if we go up to the Premier League, it's almost a certainty. It would be a relegation scrap. I think we'd have to already come into it knowing that there's a good chance we'll go down. I think the board would probably accept that as well. I don't think we'd get the sack if we went down. And we'd probably hopefully get a big budget to actually buy some players. The good thing with getting to the Premier League as well is that you can start to look for those sort of wonder kids who don't cost too much money and don't cost too much money on the wages, but just won't join you if you're a Championship side. But if you're in the Premier League and the big sides haven't really noticed them yet, you can get them. I've had my eye on a couple. I don't know what Stevenson's doing there. He's just passed it out for no reason. I thought someone had been injured or something, but no. It was just, he could have just swung the ball in the box. He decided to try and pass it, I think, to Ibrahimovic Fletcher. But it's like the worst pass I've ever seen. And it's just gone straight over a Palace goal kick. We've done nothing this game. We've done absolutely zilch. And we've created nothing as well, which is really worrying. We are, really struggled today. And we've not lost many games in the league. So, like I say, I did say a lot of those results, we've been quite poor in the games, really. So the fact that we were able to get stuff is quite surprising. I think, you know what? He scored 2 in the last game. Let's bring him on. Uranga's coming on. He's not really, can't really play on the right, but you know what? He scored 2 in the last game. He's coming on. He actually missed a really good chance early on, and I thought he wasn't going to be much of a player, but then he scored 2 in the game, so I'm not going to question it. Mustafa's been brilliant. I mean, like I said, the front 4 have all been brilliant, haven't they? So I'm not going to be too critical, but yeah, it's not really working out today. And we've got plenty of options. That's the good thing. We have got plenty of options. I think Tyne and Thompson's not having a great game either. The problem is they just don't keep their fitness well at all. Both of the other 2 are much better off as strikers, so I guess we'll bring Newerton on at left wing, see what he can do. We need to be creating more because we've really struggled with creating chances today. Obviously, yes, we've let a couple in, but those were, those are just, the second one was just lucky, wasn't it? Let's be fair. The first one was a good effort, but the second one was just lucky. Oh, they're getting just, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need those little skillful crosses. Taking the mick now. Watmouth's actually having a decent game, so clearly it wasn't a bad decision to bring him back in. Mahika's picked up a knock, though. I didn't think we had another stoppage. I guess if you do it at half-time, it doesn't count. Osmani's slightly fitter. We'll bring him on. He's not done anything, Osmani. He's been a poor signing. Considering we're paying him quite a lot of money, he's definitely been a poor signing. He's one I'll probably try to move on. There's a number of them I'm going to try and move on in the summer. If we get promoted, I think we need a big clear out because we just need players who are going to go for the Premier League, and most of these lads aren't. I guess maybe not a big clear out. That's probably harsh. We need to just, I think there's a couple of players that are on the bench that if we could get money for, it would be good. Honestly, regardless of what league we're in, Osmani, Greenwood, Newerton, I think these kind of players, you probably keep 1 or 2 and then the rest go. Jalali, that centre-half, the Iranian, he needs to go. He's not good enough. Especially now we're bringing in players like Uranga and stuff who've got more potential. I think it's worth moving those on. I was going to make a sub, but I really don't have much going on. We'll bring Hall on. And I guess we bring Fonseca on as well. for Lindores, who, to be honest, was complaining he wasn't getting enough game time. We've brought him in now that Molina's gone, and he's definitely a big downgrade. He's not been as good. He's another one. He had a bid from West Brom, but they only wanted to pay like 2.5 million. It just didn't seem worth it when we didn't really have anyone else. He's probably, if we had another option, I definitely would have sold him, but he's just not really anyone else. Honestly, Fonseca's been away on international duty for Brazil. He's only played off the bench the last couple of games, but he doesn't look very good. I thought he'd be quite a good player, but he's gave the ball away there. Watmuff's got quite lucky there. Not being critical of Watmuff, but he's been quite lucky because it could have went anywhere there. The deflection, it went straight in his arms, thankfully, and he's kept it out. We've been massively outplayed today. Fair play to Watmuff. He's actually the only one who's had a good game. The strikers have been poor. Everyone's been poor. We've not created anything. We've not scored the chances we have created, and we've not defended very well at all. And for someone I took out the side, Watmuff, he's been the only one I can actually say was okay there. That's poor. We obviously do go back down to second, but thankfully we do still have a little bit of a gap over Luton. No, I'm going to say I wasn't happy with that because I think we can definitely do better than that. I know Palace are a good side, obviously the top of the league, but yeah, we could do better there. That was disappointing. Oh well, we've got Preston in 3 days. Hopefully we can make up for it now. So hopefully for our second game of the episode, we can start to turn things around. We play Preston and we have a couple of rotations in the side. Shin Jung-bin comes in as Bandikar, needs a bit of a rest, so he's going to come in for his debut. Tynan Thompson is wanted by Damak as well. That's very interesting. I mean, wouldn't be the worst thing. He's not really he's a good championship player, but if we got a big fee for him, I probably would let him go, to be honest, because we've got so many options. And to be honest, there's a lot of them that are quite similar to him. Yeah, I'd probably let him go, to be honest, if we got a bid for him. I guess we might actually, I might after the game invite some offers in for him. And then Greenwood comes in. Unfortunately, Mahika's picked up a knock, so he's going to be out for about 1 to 2 weeks. So Pleguezello's still not fit, still not back from his injury, so he's still out. The team we're going with. Hopefully we can get a result. Like I said, we have rotated it a little bit, and Jung-bin comes in for his debut. He's not really fit. He's coming back from injury as well. So we have obviously got Jacob. Is it Jacob Hall? We've got Hall on the bench anyway, who can come on if he's it is Jacob Hall if he's having a honker. But hopefully we can get ourselves back to top of the league, or at least back in the wins. Obviously, we had gotten a decent unbeaten run, so I'm not going to be too critical. And like I say, Palace are a good side, but it's slightly worrying because if we were to get promoted, that would be the kind of team we'd have to be beaten. I keep talking about promotion, but we are so close to it. That it is vital that we keep up this good momentum. And without Mahika, hopefully we can still get the goals. Obviously, Ibrahimovic-Fletcher's actually been the main man this season, but Mahika's massively contributed as well. So Greenwood with big shoes to fill, and hopefully he can do a good job. Thompson into Ibrahimovic-Fletcher, back to Stevenson. Stevenson finds Walsh, plays it to Lindores, who plays it off, and Pedro Villa, what a finish that is. The big boy at right back, he's just swung his foot at it like an anvil. That was like a Harry Maguire penalty. He's just absolutely leathered it. Top corner. Fair play. Pedro Villa gets the opening goal. Mansfield 1, Preston North End 0. And that's exactly the opening we wanted. And hopefully we can keep that up. That was a very, very just surprisingly good goal from Villa. I did not think he had that in him. Ibrahimovic-Fletcher now loses the ball out to Preston, and they can try and play out from the back, and they do though, but Villa is pushing up to try and win the ball back, and this may be a first test for our new Korean centre-half as the ball's coming in, edge of the box for Preston. It's a good effort, but Watmuff does well to watch it and just tip it over. Good save from Watmuff, who is starting to get maybe back in my good graces. Maybe that's all he needed was some proper competition behind him, but I guess he had Teddy Sharman-Lowe's competition. He didn't really turn up. Anyway, maybe he's just needed some time to settle in, a long time. But he is our new debutant. Not very confident, plays it back to his goalkeeper. He isn't actually much of a passer, so this doesn't surprise me. But you know what? Hopefully he'll grow into it. He still needs to get match fit. We won't question it. Oh, that's a great ball over to Ibrahimovic-Fletcher. And he's somehow missed. I mean, he's got to be like championship top scorer, the amount of goals he's scored. How he's missed, I don't know, because he's been in such great form. I'm genuinely shocked he's missed. That's crazy from Ibrahimovic-Fletcher. But he has missed, and it remains Mansfield 1, Preston North End 0. And like I say, that is very, very surprising. yeah, not seen much from Greenwood. Walsh is looking tired as well, so he'll probably have to come off. We do have depth. It's only in very certain positions, and like I said, I don't think they're great. But we are on the counter here. Greenwood got lots of options. He needs to get around his man and play a ball in. He gets around his man, still goes himself. It falls to Walsh, but he couldn't get his effort past the defenders. And now Walsh still with the ball, plays it to Stevenson. Swings one in, finds Thompson, who lays it back to Ibrahimovic-Fletcher. Oh, it's not going to be his day. He swings it over, but to be honest, I think Greenwood's got to do better there. He's got to put a good ball in, and he doesn't. Remains just the one goal to us. We have created a bit, but we've not really looked too lively in attack. But there is a late highlight just as the first half is ending. Greenwood finds Stevenson all the way back in his left-back position. Plays a good ball to Tynan Thompson, though. Tynan Thompson on the turn. Takes it round one. Goes back to Stevenson. The easy option. Let's take a few risks here, lads. Stevenson getting round his man. Good ball in the box. No one's there. And it just goes out. I don't know what happened there. Oh, it's half-time. I thought the lad just stopped playing for no reason. Half-time. 1-0. I think we've got to make some changes. Reggie Walsh looking very, very tired. So Fonseca's going to come on for him. Tynan Thompson is not, you know what? Let's try Uranga on the left-hand side, see how he can do. Because if we are going to be looking to sell him, if there is interest, well, obviously he wouldn't go to the end of this till next season anyway. But if we do sell him, it would be good to know we've got a replacement lined up, and Uranga looks like the first choice. Thankfully, oh, that's brilliant from Watmouth. Look at it, little opening of the legs, just letting it go off for a goal kick. He's feeling confident now. We've made a couple of good saves. He's feeling good, but he needs to feel good because we aren't really in amongst the goals today. Shinbun goes to Trotman, who plays it out to Stevenson. I mean, he's having a decent debut, the Korean centre-half, but he's not really been tested, and he doesn't look very comfortable on the ball at all, which is slightly worrying. But Stevenson, running down the left-hand side, turns. Can he get the ball in? No, he can't. He's lost the ball, and now Preston can catch us, potentially on the counter, but that's good tracking from Trotman, who plays it back into Fonseca, who's maybe just needs to spend a little bit of time getting used to his players. Same with Uranga, obviously they are new signings. Veya, with space to play into, plays a really good ball into Mustafa, who can play it back, does play it to Greenwood on the turn. That's a brilliant finish. Is that his first goal of the season? I thought he'd scored more than that. It's his first goal in 25. Yeah, I think some of these lads will be moving on. It's a good finish from him, to be fair, but if that's his first one, that is slightly worrying. It was a good ball in, it was a good play from Mustafa, and it is 2-0 to Town now, and we are looking a lot better. Out to Greenwood, who plays it long, trying to find Ibrahimovic-Fletcher, but it wasn't really much of a ball. And there's our former man, Seth Ridgen, another former loanee we're playing against, which seems to happen quite a lot in the episodes. I don't really notice when I'm playing the games in my own time, off camera. Ibrahimovic-Fletcher swings one in. Greenwood's there. Oh, he's barely scored all season. He almost got himself a second, and maybe that's why, because I think Mahika buries that. But nevertheless, still 2-0, and we have got a couple of tired boys, especially at fullback, so we need to probably make some substitutions there. Hall's going to come on at left back, and then I guess what we'll do is put Trotman out at right back. I mean, it's not great. And bring Bandikar on, have him paired up next to Shin Jung Bin, and then probably make a sub up top. Ibrahimovic-Fletcher's, like I say, it doesn't look like it's his day. So we'll give Osmani a chance. He's another one who's not really had enough of a chance, but when he has had half an hour, 45 minutes, he's not really done anything with it. I don't think he's actually scored a goal for us yet. But Greenwood scored his first for the season, so maybe he can as well. Mustafa had a lot of options in front of him. He should really be playing the ball, instead try to take it himself. And it's played through to Bandikar, who's very, very slowly getting back. And then the Korean defender just about sees it out. But it comes to not the halfway line, comes to the edge of the box. In Watmouth, I think there's the sea of bodies. Excuse me, couldn't see around. But unfortunately, Preston get themselves a goal. And that's slightly worrying because we've made some defensive subs. And we are all out of substitutions. And Mustafa loses the ball again. It was his fault for the first goal, actually. He needs to stop doing that. Bandikar, with the ball at his feet, racing forward, plays it into Uranga. Let's see what he can do on the left-hand side. Uranga gets around his man, plays it to Osmani. And I said it. I called it. Osmani. Maybe he could get his first goal. I said Greenwood got one. Maybe Osmani could get one too. And he has done. Irvin Osmani makes it 3. And that makes it feel a little bit more comfortable. Young Bin, I wasn't expecting him to play the full 90, to be honest, with him being not match fit. But to be fair, his fitness looks pretty good because he is still looking pretty good for a player who is basically not match sharp at all. Osmani into Fonseca. Plays the ball over the top to Mustafa. Mustafa, can he get a ball across? He does. Uranga's there. But his effort was blocked. And it goes out for a Mansfield throw. 3-1 to us. And we are looking a lot better today. We haven't blown Preston away, but we've done good enough. And the subs have definitely had a good game. To be fair, the 2 strikers have come on and maybe made a claim for why they should be getting a bit more time, because they've both done well today. I think they're both probably just unfortunate that the other 2 have just been so good. Mahika and Ibrahimovic Fletcher have just been so good. We weren't really sure who the striker was going to be. To be fair, there was shouts for, well, not shouts, but there was ideas of bringing Osmani into the starting lineup. There was obviously Ibrahimovic Fletcher was an option. We ended up going with Ibrahimovic Fletcher, but it was not nailed on early doors. And Ibrahimovic Fletcher has absolutely just taken the position and ran with it. He has been unbelievable. But today is the chance has been the show for the backup strikers to come on and maybe prove why they deserve more minutes, because they've both scored and they've been a big, big part of why we're going to win this game. Fonseca with the corner. He's another one that's probably thinking he should be getting more game time, but at the minute, he's another one who hasn't really done much since he's come on. Big ball over the top to Trotman, who has that 20 jumping reach again. Those big centre-halves, but they just can't get it on target. And it goes wide. But it is 3-1, and that is good to see us get back to winning ways. Still on the top of the league. Palace must have won their game, but Luton must have lost. They have done. That's a 5-point gap. That is massive for us. Promotion to the Premier League could still be on. We are getting into the business end of the season now. And now we need to decide where we're going to come back for, because we have not too many games left, but probably too many to come back in the middle of. I think we just come back for the end of the season. I think we play these off camera. We don't play anyone in amongst it, really. Yeah, the only ones left in among... We don't play Palace again. And I guess Luton, Southampton, we don't play anymore. We don't think we play Southampton again. So yeah, there's only really Luton left. So I think what we'll do is we'll come back either for the Luton game or earlier if there's potential wrap-ups. Obviously, if things change, we're able to get back, we're able to get automatic promotion earlier, then there's every chance we come back earlier. But if not, we'll come back for the Luton game and we will play the last 2 games of the season and we'll know whether promotion's on the cards or whether it's the playoffs. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the UK Journeyman, and I'll see you all for more very soon.